Good morning, and Happy New Year. How long can we say that for? I'm not quite sure how long we can say that for, but it's the 7th of January already, and it's 2022. And I'm Karen Curitan, back here for my regular Friday lives, 8 o'clock every New Year. Happy New Year to you, Claire. And I hope everybody had a safe and festive New Year and didn't overindulge too much. Tried to be really good, but it isn't always easy, is it? And today I wanted to come back and really talk to you about morning Janet, morning Anne, nice to see you. And yeah, I saw a poll actually on LinkedIn the other day. I'm just getting rid of this. My computer's decided to shout at me. I saw a poll on LinkedIn the other day, which was, for how long is it acceptable to say Happy New Year? And I think maybe for about a week. I'm not quite sure, a week or so, but I hope everybody is fit and well. It's a funny time of year, isn't it? And today I wanted to talk to you about the fact that traditionally at this time of year, we always have our New Year's resolutions. I'd actually already decided back in December that this was the year that I was going to be the fittest that I've ever been. And I've been doing a 6:30 in the morning, yes, 6:30, silly o'clock, high intensity workout for half an hour. And do you know what it is? It's a pain in the bum to get out of bed at 6:10 in the morning, but I just come downstairs, I do it on Zoom like Claire's fabulous Pilates classes. In fact, it's just reminded me, Claire, my friend Judith, I'm going to introduce you to her because she needs to do some of your classes. But today's topic is, this is your time to take a long step back. And in the run up to the end of last year, we talked quite frequently about planning for success in 2022. And planning for success is what you should have been doing in the run up to the end of the year. And it's not too late. If you haven't put a plan into place, you've still got loads of time. But what I wanted to talk to you about today, and this was really about mixing things up. And this came out of some stuff that I was putting into my year-long program group, where we've got a group of people who are working through my online learning program. But in addition to that, I post lots of additional stuff. And I was looking at, I'd subscribed to a content calendar that each month gives people ideas. And it got me thinking about, I'm really passionate, and I think it's critical that you have some content themes. Really important that you do that. But absolutely, Claire, you're always welcome. You know, I'm a big fan. I'm just rubbish at getting to the classes because of the timing, which is a problem. So have you thought about really mixing things up? So late last year, I started trying something different, and I'd urge you to try something different. Try it. Really bad English. You can tell it's early. I haven't had my coffee yet. Cheers, everybody. I want you to think about your content, because I was doing a free 30-minute call. And if you haven't had a free 30-minute call with me before, please pop over to the website and book one, curitanconsulting.co.uk. You're on catch up on wherever, whichever platform you see this. And I was doing a free 30-minute session with a lady who's a Tropic Skincare ambassador. Now, I'm a huge fan of the products. I understand the business model. My next door neighbour is a Tropic Skincare ambassador. One of my long-standing clients, the lovely Deirdre Westwood, is a very great Tropic Skincare ambassador. The problem they have, and this is a lot of businesses, they have a lot of branded, approved collateral. And that's great. However, I demonstrated it rather than me venture an opinion, because I didn't want to look as though it was just me. I said, let's have a look at some other Tropic Skincare ambassadors' posts. And, you know, the problem is there was no differentiation. You know, if you are a Tropic Skincare ambassador, I understand why I'd want to buy from you rather than my friend Deirdre or my friend Nikki next door. You need to understand that, and your content needs to reflect that, just the same as any of us who have competitors or similar businesses. What is it about you, and does your content get that across? Because often when in fact, I've got a planning session with a client on Monday, and one of the questions that I've posed to them is, what is your differentiation? What's the whiffing factor? Why would I use you for your legal services than another law firm? And I just want to pause there, because you really need to have this nailed. And if you're not sure, then let's have a chat and we can bash it around a bit, because it's so important that you understand that, because then once you do that, you're almost reverse engineering it to create your content, because then what you're writing about is telling the story. So my differentiation is that I come from a 20 plus year, yes, I'm not 10, unfortunately, a 20 plus year career in sales. So I was sales director for a national house builder. And within that role, I managed a team of salespeople and I trained them. So how does that connect and make me good at this social media stuff? Well, what it means is I understand, as a really great salesperson, and I was a really great salesperson, how to build relationships, how to build know, like, and trust. And all I've done is I've translated that into the virtual world. And so my differentiation is I come from a place of understanding how the corporate world works, but I also understand, as somebody who set up their own business, 14 years ago, and struggled at first, I understand the challenges that small businesses face as well, because you've got so many demands on your time. In fact, I saw a really great post, a lady that I know from networking, and she did a post the other day, and I loved this. And she said, do you want to speak to our head of HR? And it was a picture of her on a computer. Do you want to speak to our head of marketing? It was a picture of her on a phone. Do you want to speak to our managing director? It was her dressed for a meeting. We have and I loved that. And I need to message her actually and tell her how much I loved it, because we have so many hats to wear. If we're sole traders or solopreneurs, we have a lot of hats to wear. But use that to tell the story, because we can juggle all of this and make it work. So think about your differentiation. But what I really want to, my big passion for you today is absolutely clear, is my passion for you today and my challenge for you today is take, excuse me, a long, hard look at the content you posted last year. Does it need a refresh? Could you do with changing your content plan, your content calendar? And if you're not sure, book a power hour with me. It's something that sometimes we're too close to do ourselves. I've had power hours with other social media trainers because sometimes I'm too close to it. And as a trainer, I recognize where my gaps are. And sometimes I get too locked into it, too in the zone. And that's perfectly understandable. But recognize that. Really important that you recognize where your strengths and your weaknesses lie. And if you are considering outsourcing it, your social media activity, maybe to a VA, because that's the most cost effective, be really clear about your briefing. So perfect example, I'm working with a lovely training company, and I've got a social media manager is working with me as an associate to manage their accounts. We had an hour-long meeting. We talked about a content plan, collateral, focus, direction, differentiation, priorities for the clients, and then I'm constantly updating that. And I want you to think about how you can do that for yourself. Have a board meeting with yourself. Have a marketing meeting with yourself. If you're trying to do everything and maybe outsourcing some of it, let me tell you, the results that you get by outsourcing are only as good as the briefing. That's why I started doing these strategy sessions with my clients, because it was no surprise. The longer I work with somebody running their social media, the better I got at it, because I understood their business more. So then I developed the strategy session, which is a bit of a planning session, where we spend 2 hours going through all of the key things that I need to know and understand about their business, their tone of voice, where they who their competitors are, how they differentiate from the competitors, what results have they had, what's worked in the past, what hasn't worked, how else are they marketing their business. But it's about being organized. Give your social media some structure and focus and direction, but mix it up a bit. Try something different. Do some fun facts. What about doing one around Meet the Team, even if it is just you? I did a post before Christmas. In fact, let me see if I can find it. And it got loads of engagement because it was different. And it had a video, nothing fancy, but it had a video in it, and it was really a bit different, and it sort of introduced me to my audience. So I'm just going to see if I can quickly find it and share it. So if we just jump over here and share, share screen, tab, here we go. So this is Postcron. This is what I use to schedule my content. So you'll be able to see this. So this is the new post that I created. It says, hello to my new connection. So it's time for a quick intro. I'm Karen. Just noticed a typo, and no, it isn't. It's just because the way it sets out, but it goes out perfectly. If you're new here, you need to know these 3 things about me. I love social media. LinkedIn, as I'm afraid to say, my favorite. I love gin. And I was in that with the Cilla Black. What 3 things will you share? And then I've just got a little simple video, which just captures, the idea is that it captures people's attention. And that's all it is. And that's really just a simple idea is, why not do an introductory post? Why not do something around 3 reasons why you need to work with me? But remember not to be too salesy. We're building relationships with our future clients. Some people we will know for years before they start working with us. Classic example, I had a call yesterday with a potential new client who I met, gosh, it must be 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Another client invited me to do a presentation for a Women in Rail Network event, and I did a presentation about optimizing your LinkedIn profile because LinkedIn was their main platform. 2 and a bit years later, she contacts me and says, I think I need to have a chat. And now that chat sort of expanded and expanded and expanded. But she's kept up to speed with me and what I'm doing by seeing my posts, by seeing the fact that I'm here. And the other thing is, don't be ashamed to say, so Claire, for you, a perfect one would be to say is, I only have room, or I currently have room for 1 new client on my online classes. I have 1 place, or I have 3 places. How many places have you got available? And I think that's really important. People need to know that you've got capacity. If you have, I saw a post on Instagram yesterday, and I really liked it. It was a virtual administrator, and she actually said, I'm full. I'm fully booked with client works till February. And that is fantastic to be able to say that. But also it's telling her potential clients that she can't pick something up and move quickly with it. So it's worth occasionally, because sometimes it's a question I get asked, have you got capacity for any more social media management clients? And the answer is yes, because I now have a lovely associate working with me who takes on that side of it, because I focus on the training. But people need to know, have you got room for more clients? So making sure you've got that. And ultimately, if you're not already doing it, invest in some training, even if it's just a one-off power hour or if it's joining a course. As you know, I've got lots of different ways in which you can work with me. So you can do a power hour. You can join my 6-week New Year Club, which starts on Monday, which I'm really excited about. Or you can join my year-long program, which gives you lots more. It gives you half-day workshops and lunch and learn sessions and Q&As and loads of other stuff. So think about, I might not be the right fit for you. You might be watching this on catch up going, oh, what's this silly Geordie woman whittering on about? But what I would say to you is one of my differentiations is that I'm always investing in myself. My accountant told me off last year because I spent so much money on improving my skills. I'm not arrogant enough to think that I know it all. So I spend time with people who are particularly expert in one field. So as a perfect example, I'm doing a Twitter course next week. I love Twitter. It was my first social media love. A lot of people have fallen out of love with it, and I have a bit. But I still love it, and I still hang out there. But I'd like to sort of get an update. So I've booked onto this course next Tuesday, and I'm doing that because then it means that my year-long program clients, if they want to learn about Twitter, so I was looking to see if Lulu's joining us. Are you coming, Lulu? Is I can share that with them. So me investing in myself means I can share that with my clients. And I think that's really important. Sorry, I'm very thirsty today. So you may be investing in your skills if you offer a service. And if you're investing in your skills, you need to tell your audience this, because it's almost like part of your social media activity is about building that story that sits behind your brand, your credibility, your pedigree. And here she comes. Here she comes. What are you doing? Sorry. Yes. She does this. She can't bear the fact. Lulu, move. Big fluffy cat. So if you are investing and you offer a service, you need to tell people that you talk the talk and walk the walk, and that you are constantly. It's a bit like one of the clients I work with trains hairdressing and barbering apprentices. Now, if I was going to a new hairdresser, she is gorgeous, isn't she? She knows it too. She's so. But if you were going to a hairdresser and you were trying a new hairdresser, wouldn't you want to know that they were up to date with the latest techniques and products and tools of the trade? I certainly would. So just the same as if you offer a service, you need to make sure that you're telling your audience that you're keeping your skills up to date and ahead. And make it clear when you're posting, saying I'm spending a morning on some personal development. So I'll be posting about the fact that I'm doing this course next week because I strive for excellence all the time. I strive to keep my skills up to date. So if you offer a service, that's another great content idea. And the conversation, going back to the Tropic lady, who was absolutely lovely, and what she's putting out is great, but she's putting too much content out. And I said to her, how often are you posting? She said 2 to 3 times a day. So her news feed's really busy. What happens then is it dilutes the impact of the important stuff. So think about maybe even posting even less, but better quality. And I had this exact conversation with somebody just before I finished in December, was wouldn't it be better to post 3 times a week at the right time of day with content that's really interesting and relevant for your audience, that's going to be more impactful? So I just wanted to share that with you. So it's nearly 8:20. I'm going to go and get on with the rest of my day. I hope you have a fabulous Friday. We're heading to Malvern later today. We've got a very, you're getting old when your friends are having 60th birthday. So we've got a very good friend of ours. It's his 60th. It was actually yesterday. So we're heading down to Malvern for a couple of nights, and just hope the traffic's kind to us going down there. And I'll be back here as ever on next Friday, the 14th. If you are on Instagram and you want some Instagram my teeth aren't working, tips, then why not join me on Instagram on a Monday morning at 8 o'clock again. So I'll see you soon and have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.